So today I'm covering something that's not really ever talked about all that much for new players on EVE. It is how to avoid damage by what they like to call kiting. Now what this basically is a method in which you can do to avoid incoming damage. So in every ship there's a tracking speed, and the lower that number is, or the higher, if it has a fast tracking speed, which would be a higher number, it can hit targets that are moving faster. But ships like these that I'm facing off against here, these battleships, that looks like a cruiser, they're not very good at tracking ships going with a high traversal velocity, which is this tab here, traversal velocity meters a second. So as you can see, I'm keeping it up by going sideways, and you can imagine even in real life, if you're trying to shoot at someone, and let's say they're on like a train or something, it's very hard to hit them because the train is going across your field of vision and you can't aim very well because it's hard to turn and shoot in time. Same applies to this really. It's a lot harder to hit something that's moving than it is to hit something that's not moving. And like as you can see, I'm really not, like now I'm heading right towards them, so the traversal is 12, 1, 3, that's not very good, I'm heading right for it. Now if I go sideways again, so I'm going to go over here towards this wreck, you'll see it'll start climbing again, climbing, until I'm going sideways across the general group of these guys. So it's harder when you're surrounded, but if I'm surrounded, what I like to do is to go straight up. It usually works. It's not the best solution, but it'll work sometimes. So yeah, what you can see here is my drone's getting absolutely mangled. Okay, come back. But yeah, you want to keep it up and high so you don't get shot at and hit. So if I stop the ship, turn off the warp or afterburner, you're gonna see that the traversal drops for all these ships quite a lot. In fact, I think it'll go to 0 if anything, or something like that. And this isn't good because obviously now the damage you can see has been absolutely amplified. They're not missing anymore, they're laying hits. My shields are not liking that at all. What you don't want to do now is stay like this. You want to always be on the move. A lot of ships like the Ishtar, that Mortar's Legion ships, any of them often, in fact they all require you to know how to kite effectively. So as soon as I start moving again, you can start seeing that they're missing me completely, or the damage is completely nullified to like 6. Let's just launch some medium drones and get these guys the hell out of here. But so yeah, basically it's pretty simple. Just go fast. It's hard. It's simple really to think about it. It's hard to hit a guy going fast and a guy staying still, and it's not really talked about. Everyone, when they tank their ships, they're always tanking for like just full on incoming damage. They're never really considering the ability to tank damage using speed. Now obviously that's not true for everyone. There's a lot of fits that require you to tank by kiting, but a lot of them, and especially new players, are not going to do that. And new players, a lot of them who are engaging in PvP, if you have that, like if you ever get caught in PvP with someone who's new, it's pretty easy just to kite them and they won't know how to effectively deal with that, and you can usually got it in the bag at that point. See, I'm keeping it all up now, but now I'm getting close too. Now obviously that's a totally different story. That's fall off ranges and all that, and I think that one's actually pretty easy to understand. It's sort of like the range in which you can hit effectively. Obviously this gun being a Gauss gun, blast, or a hybrid turret, not a railgun, it's not very long range. Like its fall off range is 14 kilometers, so anything past there, it's just not going to hit very well. Sentry drones, however, are really long range and they can hit out tens and tens of kilometers with ease. So yeah, basically just keep it with transversal velocity and you should be able to kite effectively. Like you can see now that it's dropped a bit, but I mean I got a lot of ships fire at me here, and generally it's completely dealable with this amount of ships shooting at me. So if this was helpful at all, give it a like. If this wasn't, dislike. And if you want to see more, obviously subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys after.